Okay, so I have two lessons up here. I have two lessons up here. We're not doing two. Okay. When I usually teach this, I put them together because I think they're pretty simple anyway. So, but we're just going to focus on one of them, and we're going to focus on the area of circles. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. Before I get started with the area of circles, though, we have to talk about circles because we have not looked at any kind of shape really yet. I mean, we looked at polygons. And polygons, aka triangle, okay, yep, and a lot of different shapes. Yeah, we looked at a lot of different shapes, so this is something we have not looked at. So first of all, you need to write down what a circle is, okay? A circle is a set of points in a plane. Remember, a plane is a flat surface that goes on forever that are the same distance from that point, from a point. And the center is that given point that we're talking about. And if you want to, you can draw a picture of this. It's pretty simple. It's like if I have my center here. Okay, this is happening in my other class. Now let me write. You gotta find it.
Someone did that.
That's bad. That's bad. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here's your center. And then it's like having a set of points that are the same distance all the way around that center point. So if you think about a circle, it really looks like this. But just imagine those all little points that are connected together that look like a line. Okay? So that's what a circle is. Center would be the middle of it. Okay. Anybody still need this yet? Good to go? Okay, the next slide I'm going to show you, there's a lot of vocab on it, but you only really need to draw the picture. Okay, you don't need to write the vocab, just need to draw the picture. So we have a circle, we have a radius, a diameter. Make sure you know these two because you're going to have to know them for today. We have a radius that's halfway across. Diameter is the full way across. Center, I have a point to it. And then another vocab word that this is what we would have done if we had time, circumference. That's probably another thing you maybe need to know. Circumference is all the way around the circle. So how far it is around that circle. And if you want to add it to your picture, you just draw like all the way circumference around the circle or something. If you want to add it to your picture, you can do that. Minutes of review. No, not this time. We're going to talk about that, Riley, so hold on. Okay. Okay, so we're going to talk about pi quickly because some of you are saying we got to use pi. Now, pi, 3.14, it looks like this. This is the symbol for it. Okay, looks like that. And you might ask yourself, well, why do we even need to use this? Why do we use 3.14? Okay, that's part of it. Okay, but what is 3.14? Why are we using that in this? Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what pi is. If I have a circle, okay, so here's my circle, and I have a radius, or actually a diameter. For any circle, if you have their diameter, it's exactly, there's exactly 3 diameters around the circle. Exactly 3. Well, 3.14 to be exact. If I would take it out, there's a diameter, here's a diameter, here's a diameter. There's exactly 3 of them around a circle. Well, 0.14, I guess. Okay. So that's where the number comes from. It's not just somebody saying, oh, let's take this number out of thin air, and that's what we're going to use for a circle. It actually has something to do with the circle. If I knew the circumference of the circle, and I divided by the diameter, I'm going to get 3.14 every single time, no matter what circle it is. Okay, so that's where the number comes from. Now here's the thing, your calculator has pi buttons. You're not going to use the pi button today. Here's why. On your, yeah, you do not. You go grab one of mine. Yep. Everybody has a pi button. Yep. If, yeah, you do. You do. It's one like this. You're going to want one like this. $10 at Walmart. Actually, I think they're like 9 something.
I wanted a $5.
Okay, so now listen. Your pi button, if I push it, I push it on Evans here, and I push pi equals, and it comes up with 3.141592654. Okay, so that's fine, but that's how it would come up if it was going to come up on your calculator. Now here's the thing, if I was going to use the pi button, and Maddie's going to use 3.14, it's going to come with 2 different answers. Why would I have 2 different answers from using the pi button to 3.14? I'm not calculating all the other numbers involved. Does that make sense? So I want everybody's going to use 3.14 today. We are not using the pi button. Are we using the pi button? No, we're just using 3.14. Okay, for today anyway. All right, so what does this mean and what are we going to do with it? We're going to talk about area. An area formula is this, pi times radius squared. And if you want to, you can actually write it out like this, because many people, when they say radius squared, they think times 2. That's not what it means. Squared means radius times radius. You're going to multiply the same number 2 times. Pi, we're using 3.14, times radius. Don't notice there's no diameter in there. We're only using the radius. So if you were given the diameter, what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to half it. You're going to have to find the radius. Nope. Multiply. Just relax 1 second. Okay? So, here's my first problem. Now let's just talk about what this looks like. Here's my circle. I want to find the area of it. Do I have the radius? Okay, so what's my equation going to look like before I even start it, Maddie? Okay. Okay, but what is my r here? Okay. Yep, that's how I'm going to write it out. So I know I have everything. Now, we're going to use 3.14. Today, I don't care if you use your calculator. But, what do you think I'm going to say? You have to show me what you're putting into your calculator. If you hand me a piece of paper that just has numbers on it, I'm going to hand it right back. Okay? You're going to make a lot more work for yourself if you do it the wrong way the first time. So this is what I want to see on your paper, for example. Or you make sure this is 3.14, whatever. Put it in your calculator, so go ahead and do that. Find the answer. Let's see. Point. There's point something, isn't it? Oh, but you got to do times pi. Yep, and then you got to do times 2.4. So it's going to be 370 something. Okay? Now watch. What does the label have to be? No. Inches squared. Okay, because what's always squared? Area is always squared. Now, before we even talk about the next one, what is area? The full thing. So here's some examples where you might use this in the future. Number 1, if you have a swimming pool. I wish I had a swimming pool that was round and you had to order a cover for the swimming pool. You need to know the area of it so you get a big enough one, right? If you have to paint the bottom of your swimming pool, that's round. You got to know the area of the bottom of your swimming pool so you know you have enough gallons of paint. If you are a landscaper and you're going to landscape for something in a circle, do you want to know how much mulch you need? You better find the area of it so you know how much mulch you need. Okay? If you have something in your house that's round that you want to carpet or put flooring on, guess what you need to know? The area, so you know you have enough carpet or you don't order way too much. So those are some reasons why you have to know what the area is. And I'm going to look really hard. What did I say? It looks like pi. It should be inches squared. So make sure you have a label today. Okay? Any questions so far? Okay, let's talk about this one. Make sure you get some of these in your notebook. Make sure you're actually giving yourself an example in your notebook. So what do you notice about this circle? Diameter. So what do I need to do to figure the radius out? Cut in half. And so I know it's what? 4. So this is going to look like this. Then you're going to multiply. Make sure you don't forget your pi. 50.24 what, Maddie? Square inches. Sometimes you might see something along the lines like in a book or on a test sometime that would say this. This is also technically an answer, but what did they do to it? They didn't to the pi. Sometimes they'll leave it in pi form, and that's what pi form would be. They didn't actually multiply by the pi. So if you ever see something like this, that means they just left it in pi form and they didn't multiply by 3.14. Sometimes that happens. I know that shows up on some stuff. Yep. See what they did? They just multiplied the radius and they kept the pi there. They didn't do anything with it. But I want you to take it the full way today. Yep. You tell me what you're going to do, and then you can do it on your calculator. You don't need to show your work. You just show me what you're putting in your calculator. That's what I want you to write. And then you can type it in and give me an answer. Okay? Any questions so far? Good? Okay, so here's another type of circle you might see. Oh, that's not really a circle. That's a semicircle. Okay, so here's... No. Yeah, we did a little. Why would we do that? It's half a circle. So here's the deal. Pretend this is a full circle. Find the area of it. So, what's my radius? 3. This is pi times 3 times 3. But this is going to give me the full circle. It's at 28 point something. Okay, but this is a full circle. I'm going to divide by 2 for the semicircle. And that gives me 14.13. We'll say inches squared. Whenever I don't have anything, we'll just make it inches. Semicircles, you have to remember to divide by 2. If you don't, then you technically have the full circle. You don't have the half. Try this one by yourself. I want you to do this by yourself. And I will not say anything. Good. Thanks, Maddie. Go ahead. You could do this stuff on your calculator, though, Carver. Your regular one, you could. Well, and it just takes a long time. It takes a long time. I didn't let the 7th grade. I didn't let you in 7th grade either. But I usually do in 8th grade. If we get to geometry, I usually let them use a calculator in 8th grade. Yep. Oh, what's the answer? 39.25? Maddie? Inches squared? What's the matter, Maddie? Did you use 5? 5 times 5. Oh, you know what? You know what? If you're going to put, you cannot put it all in your calculator at once because it will not follow the order of operation. So this has to go in first, and then enter, and then divide by 2. Because sometimes it will not give you the same answer. You have to be careful. You got to be careful. It probably would going left to right. I suppose it would, but sometimes if you actually have to divide at the end, you have to actually enter it and then divide because it won't give you the right answer sometimes. I do too. I do too. A lot of times that's how I kind of guess what the answer is going to be. I do, well, 3 times 3 is 9, and then I know pi is about 3, so I know it's going to be about 27 or 28. I mean, you could easily do some of these mentally in your head to figure out what it's going to be. Okay, last thing I quickly need to show you, okay? So let's say we have a circle. Let's say we don't know the radius, but we know the area. Okay, fair enough? Let's say we think the area is 1,294 inches squared. Remember, I made this up, so it's going to come out really, really icky. Just letting you know. But we're going to do some math. So let's say you don't know the radius, but it gives you the area. So here's what I suggest. I really suggest you write out everything you know first. Write out the whole equation to see what you know. Okay, so you know pi, right? So let's get rid of it. So if I'm I'm multiplying here, I got to divide to get rid of it. So divide by 3.14. Do that and round to the nearest tenth to make it easy. Okay, so I have radius times radius equals 412.1, correct? Now I got to find out what my radius is. A lot of people would divide by 2. Why can I not divide by 2? It's finding half of it. Very good. What do I have to do to find the number that I'm multiplying? Nope. 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 Okay, if I do, let's say I divide by 2. This is what I get. I get probably 206.05. That tells me that 206.05 times 206.05 is going to be that. No. Okay, does this look familiar? What's that? Square root. We have to find the square root, because aren't we technically squaring this? Yes. Okay, so here's the deal. Every single calculator has a square root key. I think yours does. What do you mean? You understand why I got to do that? Okay, so here, let me show you quick how to do this before you leave. Calculators that look like this. Calculators that look like this. Your square root key, if you is, let's see on the left side, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 underneath the second button, there's the x2. Okay, right above the x2 is the square root. It's not a button. Yep. First thing you have to do, if you have this calculator, you have to press second and then 2, the x squared, and you come up, you think of the square root, right? And then, yep, it's the second, same thing for us. And then you're going to push 412 point, was it 1? And you're going to push enter. Who does not have one like this? Yours is different. You have to put your number in first, and then push your square root key. So you put your number in first, and then your square root. These, you have to put the square root and then the number. Yep. Yep. Because you pushed the wrong one. This one right here, you push this one. Second, that one, and then 412.1, enter. Did you get yours? Okay. Did you get yours? Okay, because you're doing so yours is right here. So your second right here. And then 412.1 equals. That would be it. Did you get yours? Okay. Okay. All right, so then your radius would be, I think you got 20.3. That would be your radius then. Do not divide by 2 if you have to find a radius. It's not going to come up with what your answer is. You have to square root. So if you need to write yourself a note, you better write yourself a note ASAP. Bell's going to ring here pretty soon.